Mindful Minutes presents Yoga for Moms. To all moms in all stages, from hoping to be to carrying your little ones in your bodies, arms, or hearts, you are incredible.
Hey, this is Jillian with Mindful Minutes, and thanks so much for joining me today. So this practice is going to be a practice for moms, whether it's moms-to-be through pregnancy, people who are trying to conceive or hoping to become moms in the near future, recent postpartum moms, or maybe even just a mom who needs kind of a little bit of a moment to relax and reset. So we're just going to go ahead and get started in a nice, comfortable seated position. If you are pregnant, there's nothing in this sequence that we're going to need to alter in any way. We're not doing any sort of closed twists or any sort of belly down, anything like that. Very quick, gentle practice. So we're going to go ahead and get started in our comfortable seated position then, whether that's cross-legged, soles of the feet together, half or full lotus. Sometimes I get stuck in full lotus, so we're not going to do that today. But if you like to do it, go ahead. And we'll just take the hands either over the knees or maybe resting gently in the lap. And we'll close the eyes and we're going to begin to focus on our breath. So no matter what part of the day it is, maybe it's first thing in the morning, you're just trying to relax and start your day in a calm frame of mind. Maybe it's the afternoon, you're in need of a little bit of a reset, a recharge, a break. Or maybe it's the evening and you're trying to wind down, get in a relaxed, calm frame of mind to end the day with, decompress. Whatever time of day it is, just simply focus on the breath. Let the breath tell you the story of your body. What is your body feeling? Is there any sort of tension anywhere? Any sort of muscle fatigue, stress? Maybe anything in the upper back, low back, hips? If there's any sort of tension or discomfort anywhere in the body, gently direct the breath there. See if you can maybe put a count to the breath, maybe a count of 3 or 4 in, and match that with a count of 3 or 4 out. And let's try and get the mind to calm and settle by calling our attention to the breath, saying to yourself, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Now, if you are trying to conceive or you're currently pregnant, maybe we'll take the hands to the belly, or maybe one hand to the chest and belly, or even if you're not, just to connect with the breath, hand to the chest and belly and feel the body fill with the breath, and imagine a sense of peace and positivity flooding the body. And on the exhales, feel the chest and belly relax with the breath. Feel the body expand and contract with the breath. If you are connecting with baby and a new life forming inside of you, take a moment to think about any positive intentions, any hopes and wishes you have for that new life, sending love and positivity right through you. And no matter where you are, trying to conceive, prenatal, postnatal, just focus on the strengths of your body as a woman. Focus on the beautiful concept of motherhood in all stages. As moms, we're responsible for shaping the life of another human being, guiding them, loving them, caring for them. Many people will tell you that the most important person in their life is their mother. And it's because we love without conditions. Motherhood may be the most difficult job in the world, but it is one of the most precious. Let's take our hands to the heart. Let's take a moment to connect with our heartbeat, connect with our purpose. Take one more deep breath in And deep breath out. And we'll take the hands to the knees. Gently tip the head to one shoulder, feeling a lengthening along the side of the neck. Bring the chin towards the chest and then roll the head to the opposite shoulder. And once more, either side, chin to chest, head towards the ear. And the other side, chin to chest, head towards the ear. And back up to neutral. Taking the arms out to the sides, palms facing up. We're going to inhale the palms together. And exhale down through heart center. And again, extend them wide. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, heart center. Once more, extend the arms out, all the way back up, and down through heart center. Now we'll extend the arms back wide again. This time we'll touch the fingers to the shoulders, and we're going to work out our shoulders a little bit, just doing some circles. Let's do about 4 forward, and then about 4 back. Especially if you carry children a lot, or maybe you're nursing, your shoulders and your neck muscles can get tight, so it's a great way to release them. We're going to bring the arms out to the sides, cactus arms. We're going to bring the elbows and palms together, and then open them back up. Inhale together. Exhale, open back up. And 3. And 2. And 1. Very nice. And bring them back down. Just roll your shoulders back. And roll your shoulders forward. Go ahead and uncross and recross the legs if you're in your cross-legged position. Let's do a little bit of seated half moon. We'll press one hand down into the ground. Inhale the other arm up and over, making sure the shoulders stay away from the ears. Deepen that side body stretch. Stretch through the rib cage. Maybe even just roll the wrist a little bit. Especially if you hold bottles or anything like that, your wrists can get very cramped. And then reach on an inhale. And rise back up. Opposite side, pressing down, reaching up and over, arching through the rib cage. Deep breaths. Both sits bones stay rooted to the earth. Roll that wrist. And the other way. Big inhale, stretch. And all the way back up. Very nice. We're going to take the legs wide in a V, just wide enough to feel a stretch, not so wide that it hurts. Go ahead and shake them out for a moment. Maybe point and flex those feet. Maybe even rolling the ankles around a little bit. And then a little bit of self-care, self-love. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a massage, massaging the thighs. And the outsides. And the insides. Now as we sit nice and tall, we're going to keep our feet flexed, our toes pulling back towards us. We're going to keep pressing down through our thighs and our calves, and our inner thighs are going to rotate up and back behind us, really stretching through the hips. Big breath in. Exhale, walking forward, nice and slow. Inhale, walking up. Go ahead. My little one needs to use the potty. Exhale, walking down. Inhale, walking up. Exhale, walking down. Yes, I can. Inhale, walking up. This time hold. We'll inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walking forward. Maybe you keep the fingertips out. Maybe you come down onto the forearms. Don't push yourself past where you can go, especially if you're pregnant. Sometimes you kind of get a false sense of flexibility. You feel like you can go a little bit further. It's always better to be safe than sorry, so let's not push ourselves any further than we have to go. So let's inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. And then slowly walking it back up. Gentle stretch. We'll take one hand to the foot. Opposite arm comes up and over. 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Back up through center. And opposite side, hand to the foot, arm comes up and over. Nice side body stretch. Inhale. Exhale. 2.
Mom, I'm
And 3.
I only have to go pee.
Alright, back up. Now we'll go ahead and take our legs and pull them into our butterfly, soles of the feet together, clasping the feet. Let's press our knees down towards the earth, sitting nice and tall. Crown of the head pulls you forward. Chest is nice and open. Just take a couple deep breaths. If it feels good to kind of flap your butterfly wings, you can do that. If it feels good to keep them stationary, just press the knees down towards the ground. And just relax in a gentle hip stretch. Now, no matter where we are, prenatal, postnatal, trying to conceive, our youngest kid is in their 20s, no matter where we are, let's go ahead and focus on those pelvic floor muscles. So let's go ahead and just draw those pelvic floor muscles in and up. I like to think of them as elevator doors. So as you inhale, those elevator doors are going down and opening. As you exhale, those elevator doors are closing and rising back up in that pelvic floor. So big breath in. Exhale, close those elevator doors, pull them all the way up into the belly. Just focus on the breath, engaging and releasing the pelvic floor muscles. Okay. You can sit next to me. You can sit next to me. That's fine. There you go. One more deep breath in. And deep breath out. All right, now we're gonna swing our legs behind us. We're gonna come into our hands and our knees onto our tabletop position. So hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Depending on where you are at in your journey of motherhood, for instance, if you're in your 3rd trimester or something, you might need to kind of widen the knees to make space for the belly, and that's perfectly fine. So first, we're just gonna focus on hugging our belly in, supporting our spine, maybe even just rocking forward and back a little bit. Just getting used to our center of balance, working on our core stability. And then maybe we'll gently rock side to side. And coming back to stillness, we'll do 3 cat-cows. As we exhale, we'll round through the back, chin and chest, tuck towards each other. And exhale, drop the belly, gaze goes up. And rounding the spine, chest and pelvis tip towards each other. And dropping chest and pelvis tip towards the sky. Once more, rounding through the spine. And then stretching those abdominal muscles. And back to neutral. Now, as moms, we're always carrying something, babies, groceries, everyone else's coat, something. So we're gonna go ahead and just work on our upper body strength a little bit. Elbows are gonna stay right in towards the rib cage. We're just gonna lower the chin and chest down towards the ground. And inhale, back up. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Perfect. So we're going to step our knees slightly back behind our hips. We're going to tuck our toes, press our hips to the sky, coming into our down dog. So pressing down through the palms, heels pressing down towards the ground. I'm going to take my sweater off for a moment. Coming into our down dog. You can nod the head, yes and no, releasing that. Maybe even taking your dog on a walk, bending one knee and then the other. And again, depending on where you're at in your motherhood journey, maybe you are in your 3rd trimester, you might need to kind of take the legs wider. No big deal. All right, and then press those heels down towards the ground, shoulders slide up towards the tailbone, head tucks in, chest is pressing back towards the thighs. Taking 3 deep breaths. And on the next exhale, we'll come back down to our knees, and we're gonna come into our pigeon pose, which is really great for the hips. We tend to hold a lot of stress there, especially as women, so we're gonna go ahead and release some of that. We'll take our right knee and kind of slide it forward. Ankle goes towards the opposite wrist, and then we'll just slide that back leg down behind us. So we're trying to keep both hips pressing down towards the ground. Sometimes you need a little bit of a block or a bolster underneath of this right hip to kind of boost you up a little bit. So if that's needed, that's perfectly fine. You can even use something like a pillow. Hi, buddy. And if it feels good to stay nice and tall right here, that's perfectly fine. If you have the space and you feel a little better coming down onto the forearms, we can do that as well. And just hold here for a few deep breaths. And each exhale, imagine you're sending the breath towards that right hip and outer glute. Just releasing any of that tension, any of that stress. If you have any sort of sciatic pain, this is a really good pose for releasing that as well. You can also do it on a chair where you'll be standing and you'll have this shin kind of resting on the seat of a chair. So that's also an option. You can just look up pigeon in a chair pose or seated figure 4. Those will help as well with things like sciatica. So we're gonna get ready to come out of this. So we'll press back up into our hands. Little or no grace, doesn't matter. We're gonna slowly slide back to our tabletop position. And then this left knee, we'll draw this left knee in. Ankle goes towards the opposite wrist. Slide that back leg behind you. Hold on, bud. I'm just gonna move you right there. And then we come back into our pigeon on the opposite side. Hi. Hello. And you can either hold sitting upright in your pigeon, or you can come down onto the forearms, or squish the baby, just like that. Hi, love. And we'll hold for a few deep breaths. I like to do this at the end of the day, sometimes before bed, releasing any of that stress from the day. Thank you, Snuggles. And a few deep breaths. Now, obviously, if you're pregnant, you might not be able to fold this far forward. So again, you could stay up, or you could have blocks in front of you and kind of supporting the forearms that way as well. Hey, sweetie. We'll take another few breaths in our pigeon pose.
I can get some box for you.
Oh, you can get blocks for me. Thank you. And then we'll press back up into our hands and back to our tabletop. Brief child's pose. We're going to take the knees wide, big toes touch. We're going to sink the hips back towards the heels. You might stop right here. Thank you. You might use a block, or you might come all the way down to the ground, pressing your hips towards the heels, reaching through the fingertips. Thank you, sweetheart. Maybe you turn the head to one side if that feels better, or you can keep the forehead rested on the ground, or the forearms folded in. As you inhale, extend through the front of the body, crown of the head pulling you forward. As you exhale, sink those hips back towards the heels. Feel the hips stretch. Feel the torso sink down into the ground. 2 more deep breaths here, and then we'll come into our standing poses. Placing the hands underneath of you, pulling back up into our table. No big deal. We'll slowly step one foot and then the other, come into a forward fold. Take a moment here. Just relax in the forward fold. Nice downward flow of energy.
And then deep bend in the knees. Maybe the hands come to the hips and we'll very slowly rise all the way back up. Head's the last thing to come in line with the spine. And we come to standing. Let's take a moment, just roll out our ankles. All right, and standing nice and tall in our mountain pose. Fingers reaching down towards the ground, shoulders sliding down the back. Let's hug the belly muscles in. Engage your pelvic floor. Crown of the head pulls you forward. Press evenly down through the soles of the feet. Moving with our breath, we'll inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bring them back down. Just uniting breath and body. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, inhale. Exhale. And a little more to that. Inhale the arms overhead. Half sun salutation. Exhale, folding forward nice and slow. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, all the way down. Soften the knees, rise all the way up. Once more, exhale all the way down. Halfway up, flat back. Exhale all the way down, soften the knees, rise all the way up, arms overhead. And we'll sink into chair pose, just bending in the knees, squeezing the thighs towards each other. Now you'll notice that we're trying to alleviate this curve in the back. So we'll tuck that tailbone under, kind of sweeping it up towards the sky. Just supporting our low back. If this is too tough on the shoulders, the arms can come out in front or hands to the heart. So we're just gonna hold our chair pose. 3 big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
Mama, this looks the same color as my popcorn.
Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to the heart and rising all the way up. Bring those arms overhead. Palms together. Tipping to one side. Yes, buddy. Up and over to the other side. And back up to neutral. We're going to take the legs slightly wider than hips width. We're going to do a little bit of our goddess squats here. So toes pointed out. And as we sink our hips, our tailbone's not going to be pressing back. Our tailbone's going to be tracking straight down to the ground. So we'll bring our arms up into our cactus arms, nice strong arms parallel to the ground. And we'll exhale, sinking in those hips. Inhale, rising back up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, rise. Now as we lower, let's make sure that we're contracting that pelvic floor. And rise. 3 more. Sink. And rise. And sink. And rise. Once more, we'll hold. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to hips. If you can handle a little bit more, come onto the ball of 1 foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Relax and opposite. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Hands to the ground. Straighten the legs wide. Leg forward. Fold. 3 deep breaths. Soften the knees, rising slowly all the way back up. We'll heel toe those feet in. All right, and just a little bit of balance here, kind of restoring our sense of balance and calm. Nice grounding pose, this tree. Restores focus, so we'll take the hands right to the heart. And we'll step down through the left foot, maybe take the right heel to the ankle. And take a few deep breaths. You might keep the foot right here. It might come to the shin. It might come to the inner thigh. The only place it doesn't go is right on that knee joint. 3 deep breaths. And then slowly float that leg back down. And the opposite side, press down through the right foot. Heel comes to rest on the ankle. Both sides are different, and balance varies day by day. So again, maybe taking that foot to the shin or the thigh. This is one of my favorite poses to practice with kids as well. It's great for restoring focus. And we'll hold for 3 more breaths. And taking the hands back down, slowly float that foot back down and roll out the ankles. We're going to slowly make our way back down. So as we inhale, we'll bring the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale back down through a forward fold. And then slowly stepping down onto our shins. We'll sit back on our heels. Take our hands right to the thighs. And taking a few deep breaths. Begin to move with the breath. As we inhale, we'll rise up, arms come overhead. Exhale, sinking back down, really hug the core muscles in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. And 3. And 2. And 1. Okay. And then relaxing here with hands to the heart, or maybe connecting with baby if that's where we're at in our journey. And we'll go ahead and again reflect on the joys of motherhood in any stage. If you're trying to conceive, maybe focusing on your hopes for the future, being understanding and accepting of the journey itself. Maybe if you are pregnant, just focusing on the changes that are going on in your mind and body. And if you're postnatal, recent, or it's been quite a while, maybe just reflecting on how much your life has changed throughout the years as your kids grow. Taking the hands back down to the ground, sweep our feet to one side, swing our legs back around, coming into a comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit in my lap for a moment. And again, we'll just focus on our breath, taking a few deep breaths in and out, and just honoring our bodies for their strength, their creative forces. Honoring our minds for our intelligence, emotional intelligence, mental intelligence. And honoring our hearts for our unparalleled capacity to love not only ourselves, not only our children, but all children who need love, all people who need love. The love in a woman's heart, a mother's heart, is one of the most powerful forces on earth. And our teachings and our love, our guidance and our example truly has the power to change lives. Taking one more deep breath in. As we exhale, we'll bow forward and we'll end with Namaste. The light in me honors and sees the light in all of you. Namaste.